What's up, everyone? We're back here for the ending of our great Atlanta Regional with here the winner of the whole thing, Zach Cavis, defending champion and returning champion.
Heyo.
Yes. Ridiculous. So, Zach, how's it feel taking down another regional?
It feels good, man. Like it's been a while since I've done anything relevant in this game, so it's nice to get a few wins.
Yeah, definitely. So how was the day? Tell us about everything, how you prepare for the tournament, why you decided to bring the decks you brought.
Okay.
Lay it all out.
I went NEH Andy, as I think maybe I've been known to do. I've been on Geist lately, but it has certain weaknesses against NEH, and I expected a lot of NEH. And I think here in the top, the cut was rewarded for that because there were 5 NEH, right?
Yeah.
So that was that would have been difficult if I had to run. But I like Andy. Always liked her, so I think the meta is not too bad for her. Security testing is in a good place, and when security testing is in a good place, Andy's in a good place.
Yeah.
So as far as preparation goes, prepared with Andy. That list that I was running today is only about a week old. Like I kind of came to just Faust is really good, and you know Andy's just suffered from a lot of good draw. So I ran 3 quality times and 3 Earthrise today.
Yeah, I saw that.
Just plenty of draw to try and hit the cards more consistently.
Right.
I just ran basically 3 of almost everything that was relevant to it. Just try and max out on redundancy to try and hit the important stuff. As far as NEH, that NEH list I've been working on since Durham. Which I don't recall when that regional was, March maybe, or May?
It was in the May. It was
Yeah.
one of the,
Okay.
No, maybe even April. It was one of the early
one of the
regionals.
earlier ones. So
Yeah.
following that tournament, I started working on that list, and I was actually able to convince Pacer and Ross to play today.
Very similar
And
list.
they were only 2 cards different. Ross was 2 cards different from me, and Pacer was 2 cards different from me, but they're 1 card different from each other. So
yeah. Ross also went with Switchblade as well, though.
Well, with his Andy deck, he went with something more akin to what I was running last year, with Yogg and Switchblade and Atman and Corroder and Data Suckers.
Yeah.
So kind of combining the Sucker and Stealth hybrid.
Yeah.
But
you saw on stream was good value when you put it at 4 and interacted with Eli and 12, which is cool.
Yeah, so it's good stuff. But I put in about, I don't know, 60, 70 games on Jinteki with that NEH list. And it was good to see it do well, putting all 3 people who played it into top 8, so that was nice. So.
Yeah, you're right, though, about the power of security testing with the meta that's really gone horizontal in a lot of different decks.
Yeah, it really allows Andy to keep up, especially because compared to other criminals, you know, on a 9-card opener, able to mulligan into 9, you can really hit that security testing and try and make it consistent. So if you can get that to be a consistent econ for your deck, then, you know, the criminal's in a good place then. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Any particularly memorable matches today, either in the Swiss or in the top 8?
I think I think I was pretty lucky in a lot of my games.
What's like the play of the day for you? Like a play you thought was like, man, that was awesome. You know, sometimes you play a game, you're like, I did this. And it's not like I just did, you know, the generic, score, this, that.
Man, I don't know. In that last game I just played, I thought it was pretty neat. Able to like use Faust to keep the hand low to deny him sweep. So I don't think there was any really one play that stood out to me.
The game that just happened, what I noticed was a lot of discipline. I think a lot of players might have been like, I've got medium, let me try to hammer this R&D as hard as I can, get the medium counters. You're like, why bother? They're all getting into HQ eventually. I'll just run HQ every now and then.
Yeah, I just wanted to camp the remote on that one. I figured I figured he probably wasn't on any kind of fast advance really, or very limited elements. And then he started revealing the archive memories, so I figured I could just wait him out mostly.
Yeah.
And then there at the end, I discarded a lot of my killers, like my Mongoose. I only have 1 copy.
Yes, I was surprised at that. Used it.
But like the thing is like all those ice, they're pretty high strength, like the Gutenberg. And if he starts to lay down another Gutenberg, then it's like...
Is it better just to pay the trace, you think?
Yeah, it's just...
Mongoose pump?
Yeah, it's just the same thing, pretty much. Like, Mongoose would only deal with 1 sentry anyways. Yeah. So the Gutenberg was already there. And the Gutenberg trace is 6. And Mongoose to break Gutenberg is... I think we saw... Is it 5 or 6 anyway? So
I think we saw a lot of the Andy econ advantage in the sense that you paid through Archangel straight up 5 or 6 times.
Yeah.
And it was just like absurd. I was like, just pay the Archangel trace. Okay,
impressive.
What are we going to do with that?
yeah. I think he would have been. I think he would have been better served to cover that archives sooner.
Yeah, I know.
Testing.
Alec pointed out that very early. He's like, if he ices that, turns off security testing, he can try to choke his econ a little bit.
And he had a pop-up window, and he had both the wraparound and the Archangel, forcing that out on the remote, and that was really locking down HQ, which turned out to be to his detriment.
Yeah, it really happens when you took that Astro early. I think his heart sank a little, and then when you took window 4, he tried to make that really risky build play.
Oh
and
yeah.
Just kind of like, you're like, I'm just gonna take that.
Putting those 4 points on turns 1 and 2, that really put me in a position where I could just camp that remote. So, like I said, I was very fortunate. A lot of good luck on that side of it. So.
Oh, I want to get your input on your NEH list. One thing. So 10 ice. How do you feel about it? Do you ever feel like sometimes like you're really vulnerable in the sense that
I should only be running 9?
Oh, I think it's 9.
Yeah, I think it's 9.
There's a lot of games where I was just like, he's fading.
You're
fading like so many accesses. It's, because the R&D is open in a lot of turns or stuff like that. How do you feel about that?
Well, it does. Yeah, it only runs 9 ice. Pacer and Ross were both running 10 today. Okay. But I ran a third Mumbai City Hall and played, and they ran 2 NAPDs. And so with that extra slot that they saved from not running the third Mumbad, they ran a 10th ice. For Pacer it was a little engine, and for Ross it was a second Archangel, I believe. Okay. But you do have to fade some accesses. But with the control of your deck that you are offered through NEH's draw, just seeing so many cards, and in Cincy, firing Cincy once, like in putting like one of your agendas on the bottom, like denying them like these like a 10th of your agenda and another 10th of your agendas count, and like doing that and like having DBS like maybe occasionally firing, like or maybe just rolling while they're trashing other stuff. Right. It offers you a lot of control. And what the deck's trying to do is it's trying to go lateral, and so it rushes the temples in order to threaten a very early Sansan, and then repeatedly threaten Sansan. Like you throw down Sansan and you're immediately threatening to res it and score with the shipments. So you can operate on very low econ despite playing these big cost cards.
Right.
And while they're focusing on that and having to trash Cincy, because if you don't trash Cincy, I think Pacer, the game against Pacer, very fortunate to have that Cincy run. I understand where he's coming from. He probably wants to trash it, though, ultimately. But it's really tough to say without seeing both sides of it. I mean, it's really tough to make a really accurate judgment as only seeing one side of the play. But, I mean,
what's a good example of the power of Cincy?
Yeah, but going lateral and forcing them to focus on Sansans and Cincy's preserves your temples a lot of times, at least for a while, before they get ahead of all these other cards. And while they're focusing on that, because if they don't, then like you can just win. Yeah. But while they're focusing on that, it relieves a lot of the pressure that you would otherwise face on the centrals. So they're not presenting as much pressure as they otherwise would when you're working with a lot of burst econ like hedge funds and such. Then like you're threatening early Sansans in the same way. Like you can play a Sansan burst up immediately and threaten that score, but then they don't have to do any more once they kill that Sansan on the remotes, and they can just redirect to the centrals. And so if you creep their focus on the remotes, it relieves a lot of that pressure on the centrals, so you don't need a lot of ice to kind of like tax them in addition to the taxes that they're trashing stuff.
We saw that with the example of David Weeks when he took his max straight into a Wizard and still could not keep up with the number of assets.
Yeah, I actually played against a Val that rebirthed into Wizard earlier today, and he stumbled a little bit and wasn't able to keep up either. But, I mean, it may have been multiple factors. I think David's game, there were multiple factors that were keeping him from going. I rezzed that Archangel on R&D to see if he would bounce to David, but he didn't, so it kind of let me know that he wasn't going to run R&D very much, probably. So,
Cool.
Very impressive run throughout the whole day. We really enjoyed seeing you on stream. Great games across the board.
Did you lose any games today?
Oh yeah. I lost to Austin. I lost an Andy game. I made a mistake. He punished me.
One game today.
Well, to be fair, I did double ID.
No, the last time, you went undefeated straight up, right?
That's true.
Crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy stuff.
But
man, great showing by Zach 2 years in a row here.
Yeah, very fortunate. Very fortunate. So,
any shout-out questions on stream or anything we want to take up before we head out of here? Oh yeah, we haven't done that.
That's right.
We will also do this.
Shots fired on people from Atlanta not winning their own regional. I think we're okay with that.
Cool.
And so with that, here we are, the plaque itself. for you.
It's a trophy now.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Francis Trophy and Nationals.
National bye
there.
Thank you very much.
Enjoy that one.
Zach, quote earlier, wait, I really need to win this because I didn't register for Gen Con and I can't play if I don't win.
There you go. And now he's in. He's got it, folks.
So a lot riding on this one.
There you go.
Congrats, Zach, man.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Great showing today.
You know, great venue, and you know, you guys put up a great stream. Ben, you know, great job, man.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
In the house.
Awesome job.
Known far and wide as ESPN-like quality, and I understand you had some internet troubles today, but I'm sure that the you know, the later reviews and such will definitely redeem it. So
stay tuned for many great videos to come here on PeachHack. We had a great time with you all today at Wasteland Games at the Atlanta Regional. Thank you so much for stopping by, chatting with us in comments, and staying tuned for more awesome Netrunner action here in Atlanta in the future.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Take care.